When I think of one day reuniting with Ashley, I sometimes find myself wondering what sort of father I should be. And in those moments, my thoughts immediately go to my own father who died when I was 18. He worked as an importer, a line of business that took him all over the world. His sole focus in life was his work, so he was rarely home. You know, it makes me wonder how people like that even have sex in the first place. How do they find the time to have a wife and to make children in the first place? Unless they just want their seed to unless they just want to pass on their seed and then they're like sayonara. But one day, in a move that surprised us all, he took my mother on a vacation to South America, but their plane crashed into the Pacific Ocean and I never saw my parents again. If it ain't a car crash, it's always a plane crash. Why, when we kill people in fiction, why is it always via traffic accidents? At the time, I couldn't understand my father's desire to bury himself in his work. How could he keep himself so busy that he neglects his family? And then one day he was gone. But looking back, I've become exactly like him. If my father were still alive, what would he say to me? To see me with my head so buried in my research, what would he think of me? This TV is ancient. I've never seen one like this. There are a lot of books in here, but they all look complicated and boring. Yeah, I do notice a severe lack of manga. With a picture this big, you don't have to refill the water as often. Was someone in the middle of this book? I wonder how long it's been sitting here. It's like time has just stopped in this place for decades. This bed is huge. There's easily room for two adult-sized people to share it. The bed is neatly made but has obviously not been used for a long time. And a flower garden of sorts. I don't know how I would feel about my bed being elevated on a platform like this. I think I would feel like I was sleeping on a stage or something. There's a dresser with a three-sided mirror and a doll, a woman doll. There's a doll in the drawer. Dee, check it out. This doll must be, yeah, Franimated. This one must be her mom. Is this a letter? Dear Henry, this is farewell. Having lost not only your beloved grandfather, but others so dear to you in such a short time, I'm sure you are consumed by a grief deeper than I can understand. I believed that Franny and I could heal your heart, but you have changed since sealing yourself off in the Silverbird room. I saw how you threw the sprout key into the fountain. You spent every day confined in your room, lost in a bottle of alcohol and terrified of an unseen force. You seem to have lost your will to live. Even Franny is frightened by how long it's been since you picked up a pencil or paintbrush. And yet, you still refuse to leave the room. I can no longer see your heart. Henry, I'm taking Franny and I'm leaving the island. I will never forget how deeply I loved you. Marie. That's heavy, dude.
Who's Marie? Benny's mama. Oh, why do you look so sad? Well, this is a goodbye letter. I don't know what happened between our mom and dad, but I'm sure Franny wanted them all to stay together. That's why I'm sad. Ashley.
It's empty. Did they just pack everything up when they left the island? Doll of a woman that Franny made herself. It's wearing a cute polka dot dress. Apparently it was modeled after Franny's mom. Letter written by Franny's mom, Marie. It talks about how Henry sealed himself off in the Silverbird room and how she decided to leave him. It's open.
Yeah.
This must be what she meant by the dolls getting along. I wonder what's in here.
And in here we have a key.
And a bow. Got sprout key.
I wonder which room this key's for.
What's this? It's a ribbon Franny left. Oh, not supposed to take that with me. Ah, and the Edwards have been marked now. Letter we found in Fran's parents' room was a farewell from Marie to Henry. I guess Henry changed a lot after Lawrence died, and Marie couldn't help him feel any better. But I think she left for Franny's sake to get her away from this island. But it must have been hard for this family that all loved each other to be separated like that.
Yes. Not here either. Where could you be, Jessica?
This marble table looks expensive. It's also kinda cold when you touch it.
Huh?
Where's the power button? Is there a remote for this thing?
Oh,
Oh, neat. A quill pen. I always wanted to try one.
darn it.
No good. It's all dried out and hardened. Can't write a thing. This is a nice table, and it's not broken or anything, even after all this time. Someone left a book open here. Were they looking something up? Ah, and here we have Franny in color. Painting of a girl. Is this painting of Franny? It looks like the sketch in the art studio. Weird to think that Dee was friends with her all those years ago. Elegant flower pattern pictures dirty to use.
Hmm. Hmm?
Candle holders by the bed. Is that what they used for light? I'd be too scared to have open flames right by my bed. It's pretty dusty up close. Makes sense, I suppose. Franny was Dee's friend. She lived in this mansion and was really good at the piano. She also nicknamed him Dee. I would love to have known her and heard her play music. Wait, was I done in there? I kinda just zoned out. old-fashioned TV, pretty small screen for such a big room.
Hmm.
Painting of a bird.
It's a hummingbird. It's crooked. This bothers me to no end.
That's from the trailer. Ah,
This
sheet.
is sheet music, isn't it? Why is it hidden behind a painting? Hmm. The painting is of this bird. Ah!
Ah.
Did you know there's a puzzle hidden in this sheet music?
That doesn't sound like a child.
If you solve the puzzle and play the music, you'll get to see the piano's secret.
She sounds at least 17 or 18 years old.
I just remembered something.
If we can have if we can have child actors on screen in TV in TV series and films, then why the hell can't we also use child voice actors? Given the right directions and a good director, children can perfectly well do voice acting. We don't always need adults trying to interpret children. I mean, it's this. Ashley sounds fine, but it's the same with D. You can clearly hear that it's a woman trying to sound like a young boy, which is often what they do with anime. And I only just now noticed that my webcam is missing from OBS. Well, never mind. I don't feel like rebooting the program now, but you can still hear me. Fuck me, I have so many problems with this program tonight. In this game, you can clearly hear that D is voiced by a woman. And again, in anime and cartoons, they do often use a woman to sound like a young boy because young boys have lighter voices and women are better at making light voices compared to men who have deeper voices. But I'm like, get a young boy for God's sake. If you have a young boy character, get a young boy to voice them. Sure, kids don't have to have as many years of experience as adults. That's literally impossible because they haven't lived as long, so they don't have as much experience as their adult counterparts. But you'd be surprised at how many talented kid actors are out there, both voice acting and physical acting. Like, it annoys me to no end.
This is the sheet music Franny played on the piano. Oh, really? I wonder if I'd be able to play it. You can play? Yeah, I practice on school piano once in a while. Will you try playing this song? I'll give it a shot. Maybe it'll help jog some more memories. Franny told me there's a puzzle hidden in this sheet music. Hmm, I wonder what it could be.
Got sheet music. The music staff looks weird here. It's blank. There aren't any notes or rests indicated. Oh yeah, this is the only place without any. I wonder why the bird from the golden bird room is drawn here. Uh, so nervous. Well, no one's gonna hear you anyway. Okay, here goes nothing. It, what you played sounded kind of lonely compared to when Franny played it. Lonely? So maybe it was missing an accompaniment. I bet the second staff needs some notes too.
What's this?
This looks like sheet music. What's it doing here? Ah, overlay. It's a perfect fit. Now I just need to transcribe it. I'll try transcribing it. Done. Now let's play it. Okay, I'm gonna try to play it.
Huh? Ashley, did you hear that? Sounds like it triggered something. Let's look around. A box fell out of the piano. I wonder what it is. This is... Granny found these on the beach. It's shells. They're kind of pretty. Oh, right. I remember these. Franny found them. These are our treasure. She hid them here. Hmm? What's this card? It looks like a game cartridge. Is this Franny's too? No. I've never seen that.
Small card. Is that like the DS cards you found in the original? Because up until now I thought that those cards had been replaced with the origami birds.
What's that noise? It's the DAS. What's it doing? Did it read the card?
Recognize the another key. Installing another key 01. Unlocking another key feature.
I've never seen this screen. Is this a map of the mansion?
You have seen that before, you dunce.
One of the roots is glowing. What's this another key? I have no idea. Another key. What the?
dread to see how much my playtime is after all the hours I wasted on that stupid save puzzle. 5 hours. Good lord. By now, the original game would have been done. Well, it's getting late and I'm getting tired, so this seems like a good place to stop.